on you with the math stuff here.
You're just a face and a whoa, 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 whoa.
My whole life is like that gif of that woman trying to figure something out and like formulas go past her face.
Are we going to have a talk about GIF versus GIF now?
You know what? This is going to turn right back into
we were going to have a show called
Peanuts.
Nightmares, but now we're going to have a show called It's Pronounced GIF.
You know what? It cancels out your candy corn opinion. We're good.
All right. Well,
anybody, we don't have any repeats at this show. We've practically gotten to blows over candy corn. She's pro, I'm anti.
We're just accruing our grudges. It's fine. That's what we do as women and friends.
What else are we going to do during our VH1 behind the music when it gets to the Price of Fame portion where we have to break up?
And then
that's what we're going to do.
GIFs. So who here has never been to Nightmares? Right. All right. Hey, that's a good number of hands. Let me tell you how Nightmares works. Not Nightmares. You know how actual nightmares work, but the way this show works is we bring up a guest, we talk to them about things in their life and also a very bad dream they've had, and then after we're done talking, I pull down the screen and I show them a drawing that I have made based on their dream that they can then keep or ritually burn. Not here. I don't think that's like a fire code thing. You have to ritually burn it like at your own house. Use your fire escape.
I would recommend the front steps of KGB with a photographer taking a low angle so you look like some Iggy Pop shit, but that's just me.
That's an excellent idea. It also just occurred to me that we don't have a fire escape, and maybe that's not great. Hey, cool.
It's still a rock and roll way to go. I'll take it. And
the Emily Flake Death Watch starts tonight.
Start tallying it now.
Thank you all for coming out on a night that it's yucky. It's yucky outside.
Yeah, it's some film noir shit out there.
Yeah. But I don't really feel sexy about it. It just makes me want to put on PJs and watch My 600-Pound Life.
I could watch that in the mirror. I don't need to.
No, shut up.
Waka waka.
Waka
yeah,
waka.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I don't know. And, on a yucky night as our democracy crumbles.
I think that's why the yucky night is not fun. Normally I'm like, ooh, this looks really like a lot of atmosphere. And now I'm like, the apocalypse is wet. It's cool.
It's wet. It's boring. I guess we should put on a comedy show about brain trauma sadness in your sleep.
Yeah, I'm stopping every minute of my day. Just be like, do I still have to pay this meter? Impeachment didn't go through. Are you just allowed to break the law now? I feel like we're good. As long as it's across the board equal protection under the law, I want no witnesses.
If you legitimately believe it's for the good of the country, I think it's totally fine.
It's definitely for the good of my country that I not pay $10.
Listen, I put a lot of batteries in a lot of gas tanks today, and it's for the good of the country, so it's fine.
Take it.
Wait, nobody here knows what that does? It's bad. Don't put a battery in a gas tank.
I thought it was some new millennial shit I didn't want to admit that I didn't know about. I was like, are they doing? Is that how it works now? Shit, I've been putting unleaded in my Toyota.
No. Oh, yeah. No, it just makes a car explode.
Sugar in the gas tank was a thing in the 80s.
Right.
We couldn't afford batteries.
Right.
AA's, those things are wicked expensive. Might as well put fucking unleaded in there.
You steal them from the supply closet. I don't know.
You had such a rock and roll child. She was like a rebel. I'm going to go to punk shows. I was like, I'm going to go to this Star Trek convention without permission. That was my attempt at rebellion.
One of these days, I'm going to show you some very badass photographs from my youth where I have longer hair than I do now and super thick glasses, and it's not punk rock at all.
I will show you some pictures of Brent Spiner I took at a Star Trek convention that I still have.
No, that's legit. That's legitimately cool.
What about the Disney magazine signed by Michael Dorn? This story can go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Are you sleeping okay?
Yeah, I had one bad dream since our last show, which is good because that's when numbers way down.
Uh-huh.
And it was definitely Facebook induced. Facebook did that shit where they're like, friend you may know. You know that shit? They pull from your contacts, and they pull from mutual friends. And most of the time they're right that you know, but they're wrong about the word friend, right?
Yeah.
But this time they pulled up somebody who has no actual connections to me online, which lets you know that person was looking for you. I feel like that's the indication. And it was my boss from 8 years ago.
Oh.
Who really who really effed me over at the end. I did a lot of like manipulative stuff, like being like, I love you like a daughter, and then like locked me out of the business one morning randomly, like weird stuff. So I had a dream that she got together with my ex, and they were hanging out in France.
Wow.
Just like on sunny patios. It wasn't really an evil, bad dream. It was just like, well, that's weird. They formed like a super team of people who think I'm not worth it. Oh, that's a bummer.
That is a real insult to injury kind of thing. It's bad enough if they were together, but they're having fun.
Yeah, right? How dare they?
They're cavorting under a
so
French
near
sun.
so many patisseries. Oh, that's bullshit. That's my favorite thing. She's so skinny, she'll never eat one of those chocolate things. It's bitchy. But yeah, so I just woke up and was like, God damn it, Facebook, that was totally on you. Because it's like I saw it right before I went to sleep. I was like, this is one of those where there's no mystery. Like, that's where the bad dream came from. It's like that and that Reese's cup.
Right.
Like, that's what happened.
Yeah. Is that your little Nemo like cheese dish? Is the peanut butter cup that gives you the crazy dreams?
Yeah. Except mine is when the peanut butter hearts come out because they have the best peanut butter to chocolate ratio.
That's true.
If you're a connoisseur, I wait all year.
Yeah.
Like trees, no, and it's not even shaped like a tree. The eggs, I guess, if I have to. Cups, I try to stay away because it's all year, dude, and I can't go down that K-hole. But yeah, peanut butter hearts, man.
I feel like it's also somehow a better peanut butter. I feel like they save the good peanut butter for like if you're going to use it to tell somebody you love them.
Or like they use the chocolate they didn't have child slaves make, the good stuff.
No, they definitely still have child slaves.
Hey, I keep telling myself this lie. Let me have this one thing.
I'll let you
Democracy's
have it.
dead. When you pretend this chocolate was not made by children.
I haven't been remembering my dreams again lately. It's a little upsetting. I took up meditation. I don't like to brag, but I sit there and try to quiet my mind, and it doesn't work. But I'm going to keep doing it because you're supposed to. And
I think you get better at it, right? Like that's what I've heard.
That's the theory. Yeah, I don't know. And I started having sort of vivider dreams, but then not really remembering them. But also, I don't know. My kid's been waking up a lot in the night lately. My child is 7. We should be past this, but we're not. And the other night, she woke up and she was like, I'm so itchy. Can you get some lotion? And I was just like half asleep. I'm like, yeah, she puts the lotion in the basket. This is whatever it's told. And, I'm lubing her up. And then she asked me for something else. I was like, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I'm sorry. You sound so tired. It's okay. I'm like, and then I'm bolt awake like, oh, God, no, I'm sorry. I love you very much. I would sacrifice anything for you.
Can you imagine? Like, the problem with being a parent now is that you have seen your child's perspective. They didn't have the front-facing camera on a cell phone when we were children. So our parents never saw what we were seeing, right? But I know.
Yeah.
Like, I know the monstrosity that faces her.
I know.
Like,
I'm an angry potato.
Yeah. I'm definitely in the angry potato guild.
Like, I know my mom was an angry potato, but I thought I was just, kind of charming as my eyes flash as I yell at her. It's like, no, it's not. It's not at all. It's bad.
No.
I'm a bad mother.
She's getting a real chin first look on my side at the very least.
Yeah.
You know what? That's just what's up. And also, like, it just clears up when you were a kid and you thought everybody was 80. Right. Now you know why. Because that angle was not flattering.
But you know what is great is by the time they're of age, they're mostly going to have to be battling robots on an Earth covered in seawater. So they're not going to be mad at us anymore for how we mistreated them.
Really? I feel like they can bitch while they desalinate. You
You are so optimistic, and that is what I love about you. Should we do guests?
Yeah, let's do
guests. Our next guest is the author of an amazing graphic novel called Good Talk. Please welcome to the stage, Mira Jacob. See, you're not limping at all. You seem like
not,
you
but
can walk just fine.
I feel really good about the idea that I even have good joints at all. I feel like you blessed me. You secured me. I feel great now. I wish you would have picked me up from my seat. I just want to say I have some sort of envy about that, but it's cool. It's cool. Don't worry.
You can carry her back, but just so you know, every other guest going forward, you are on duty. So Yeah, you've been warned. So your book is amazing, and getting all of this like wonderful. You are like shortlisted for the I don't know. There's lists and prizes in there happening. So tell us about them.
There are lists and prizes. They're happening. So there's a book about my my son who is like my husband's white. I'm me. My son's somewhere in between us. And he had this Michael Jackson obsession, which was like really deep. And he had the moves. He had like the hat. He had questions like what happened to his other glove. Such a good question, right?
Been asking myself that for like 35 years.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
yeah.
And then he was alone in the room with a bunch of Michael Jackson albums, and he basically like came out one day and he's like, "What color is Michael Jackson?" I was like, And he goes, "Is he brown or is he white?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, and I was like, "Well, the thing is, he's so he's black, so that means his skin's brown." And then he kind of he turned white, and he goes, "He turned white?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Are you gonna turn white?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "Am I?" And I was like, "No, you're not gonna turn white." And he goes, "Is Daddy?" And I was like, "Daddy's already white." And he goes, "But was he always?" It was such a good question.
Yeah.
And so it's a book about, actually, that's such a funny way to say the sadder news about it, which is a book about my son figuring out what color he was while Trump was rising.
Right.
And his white grandparents became avid Trump supporters.
Oh, man.
It's also, like, the other side of that, though, is it's also about what it's like being brown in America, where you never see yourself. Like, you never see what your experience is. And so all the kind of funny questions I was asked growing up and all the weird ways that those sort of lived in me.
And have they read the book?
The in-laws?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have. It was interesting, actually. You wouldn't think, they are the kind of people who think that love is the opposite of racism, for lack of a better way to say that. So it's like, we love you. Therefore, there's no way in which our vote could possibly be used against you because we love you. And I was like, that's really, whew. I don't know how to unpack that quickly enough with the time we have left on Earth. But,
right.
But when they got it, it was funny. They read it, and my mother-in-law called me, and she was like, "Well, we read your book, and you're very talented." And I was like, "Thank you." And,
wow.
And she goes, "We're not ready to talk about any of this." And I was like, yeah.
They're kind of like wizard level white people.
It was, totally.
Not in a Klan way, you guys.
Right
to Grand Wizard.
Right. Really not in a Klan way.
Right. Man.
Wait, did you say they're British?
Jewish.
Right.
Oh, okay.
British, I mean.
Right.
Well, it's funny because
Not a great history
when you
with
said
my people.
British, I heard
Right.
wizard, and then I was like, maybe we're back in a Harry Potter realm.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. There's some other issues.
We have some other issues with the British, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, again, we can just keep going on that. But your dream was honestly the scariest dream we have ever gotten on Nightmares. So you win that?
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great prize. It's a
Yeah.
great distinction. Thank you. I'll take that one to therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've gotten some real horror shows. I get to find these out on the stage.
Right. Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah. Hold on to your tits, man. So, all right. Tell us your dream.
Okay, so my dream was, and it's so funny because you wrote and you were like, nightmare, and I was like, oh, yeah, finally I get to talk about this with anybody. Because I told my husband at the time, and he was like, never again, just never. So my nightmare was, so I have one of those funny shaped closets in my house that's like a linen closet, right? We're a little narrow. And we had just moved into this place, and I opened it. And it was the craziest thing because it was a hallway. And I was like, oh, my God, finally. Because in New York, you just dream of finding space that you don't have, right? Like, that's the biggest dream. And I was like, there it is. It's the extra rooms we've been waiting for. Here it is. And I walked down the hallway, but it actually opened into this 70s locker room. Like, it had, like, those little mustard yellow tiles everywhere, and it had those really high windows with the dusty light coming through. And it had the blue bathroom stalls, and then these weird green lockers that were sort of rusted and fading. And all of this I was kind of clocking as I was walking through, and I was like, the extra room is a bathroom from the 70s? It's a 70s locker room? And I was like, can we put a couch there? Like, it was this weird... thing where I was like, we can make this work. No, we can make this work. But as I was walking, and then as I kept walking, I looked up, and there was this black rectangle, and I knew it was like the shower bay, right? You know, in a locker where the showers are open. I knew it was that place, and it was this solid black thing. And the minute I saw it, I felt this like thing that was in it. I felt this kind of like, and I knew, I was like, this is a women's locker room. And there are women in that darkness. And they are naked. And they're not dead. And they're not alive. But they have been waiting for me for decades. Like, you know the way you know that shit in a dream?
Yeah.
It was like boom, 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 boom. And all of them are like... And I felt the thing upon me, like the look upon me. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then, because it was a dream and you just know what to do in dreams, I was like, you can't let them know that you know that they're there. Because if they know that you become one of them. And you have to wait until someone else opens that fucking closet. And I was like, just act normal. And I was sort of like, I'm just gonna pretend that this is totally normal. And I turned around really slowly, and I started walking back. And I walked back past the lockers and past the stalls, and I sense in the corner of my eye that one of the stalls is open, and there's something that's standing in it that's like naked and bleeding and furious and like twitching like that. And I'm like, don't look at that fucking thing. and I was like, they don't know. And it was like, have you ever like drawn a magnet and the filings kind of follow it at a pace? I was walking out, but I could feel them walking behind me. Like I was pulling them out of the shower. And the hallway, I saw it in front of me, this like sliver of hallway. And I was like, just get to the hallway. And then right as I was like getting close to it, someone behind me hissed. And then I woke the fuck up. And I was like...
So, yeah. This might be the only nightmares that gives me nightmares.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm here to help.
That's badass.
Okay.
Honestly, like... You could be like, hey, if you guys need like a new horror show pinhead,
yes,
terrifying, like something for Phantasmagoria fans, that's fucking terrifying.
No.
So I mean,
and weirdly, I wasn't able to open that closet for like 4 years.
No, fuck that.
That's
closet.
not weirdly.
That's where the towels go,
No.
and I would leave them on the couch. And I'd be like, honey, you got to put those away, and he'd be like, the closet's right there, and I was like, I don't know that closet.
No, he would have come home. I would have been like, I duct taped that shit shut.
Yeah.
We're never using that closet.
I understand the sacredness of closets. We just moved from a place that had no closets to a place that has closets, and it has changed my life.
Yeah.
I would have bricked over that closet so fast that... Because, I mean, honestly, like, the extra rooms in a house dream is, like, I mean, that's a common dream trope. Like, we got another one of them tonight, actually. And, and I have that dream all the time. I feel like, do you all have that dream a lot? Yes.
Like hidden
That, though, is your house is haunted. Yeah. This isn't just like, oh, it's a metaphor for your brain. You have fucking ghosts, Mira.
I've thought that several times. Thank you for making that also real for me. It's great.
I'm here to serve the truth.
That's great.
But
I feel like maybe you should leave offerings in the closet. Like I'm trying to troubleshoot these ghosts. I'm like, should you leave like cupcakes and notes? Like, really sorry, ladies, it's a rough week.
Right.
Sorry.
The
I
70s.
this whole being born a woman thing.
Right, like here's some clothes from Forever 21. I'm really sorry.
And it's also like, I mean, did you see I Am Legend?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like in the scene where like, you know, he's in like an abandoned building, and there's just like a herd of them kind of in the.
That's
like,
yes, but this was like definitely 7 years before I saw that movie. But yes, it was exactly that. It was that kind of that way that they're alive in their bodies, the sort of shaking hive of them. That's exactly whoa.
That did not help.
I didn't like that at all. I really did.
But it was great producing because I'm
Yes.
fucked up right now.
Yeah.
5 stars. 5 stars on iTunes.
Man, I can't even blame the fact that I just peed my pants on having given birth. I'm just that scared.
No, would have pissed myself at 20 for this.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Back when everything worked.
Clamped shut, no problem.
Yeah,
but boy, howdy.
Why am I the only one going home to this house? It feels unfair now, doesn't it?
No, literally, we should set up a phone tree. One of us will come over at any time. That's fucked up.
You guys are going to get the call and be like, fuck no, I'm not going to that house. I know about that closet.
I'm not opening up my closets from now on. I think we're good.
Mira, I think you might have ruined my closets. I was so happy to have them.
You know what? She has the bigger problem. There is a full 70s. First of all, it was already terrifying at 70s locker room. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
That the standards and decorations at that time do not make us feel safe.
No.
And then it just kept getting worse. So that was a blockbody bad dream. Your psyche, it was like, we're going to deliver. We're going to fucking deliver like dominoes. Yeah, I would also like to put your subconscious on the short list for Nobel Peace Prize for unbelievably terrifying nightmare. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a gift.
It's
for all of you.
For all of us.
Yeah, it's actually, I guess, the opposite of the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel No Peace Ever Again Prize.
Right. Yeah, but and the prize is a golden dream catcher.
With real big hands on it. It's going to need some extra room.
Yeah. Man, I am reluctant to show you your art.
I'm reluctant to see it. I have to say, I was like, oh God, I don't know.
But
are you guys reluctant to see it?
I guess we have to do that. I mean,
Fold hands, I guess. Order another drink. Barkeep, could you just start lining them up?
I
guess when you lead with amputated feet, there's only so far you can go up from that. But yeah, I guess let's do this. All right, so they Joey want us to borrow a tampon. They've been there for 40 years. No wonder they're bleeding. Listen. Honestly, Mira, I'm going to request that you burn this. For the good of humanity.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was outrageous.
All right, you guys, we're going to take a 5 to 7.5 minute break during which I implore you to drink heartily. It is Thursday. Democracy is dying. We'll be back.
Emily, wake up. Emily, wake up.
Fuck you. That was very mean. Because now, wait, am I awake?
All I want is a fucking tampon.
How's this? We good? All right, we're going to find out. The whole thing about, welcome him up to the stage. Okay, you guys, we're all going to live in this fiction together that nothing happened.
Yep, snap.
And this is all happened now. Thank you.
Yeah.
So our next guest is in the Arcade Fire. Welcome to the stage, Will Butler.
Woo!
Yay!
Woo!
Will Butler, you're in the Arcade Fire, which is a very popular band, and that is excellent. What is more excellent is that my kid goes to school with your kid, which is why you're here. My kid has a lot of dirt on your kid.
Yeah.
So,
She thinks he's really good at math.
yeah. The next 10 minutes are just going to be PS 130 gossip. So, yeah. What kids
Did you
don't...
hear about Philip?
Oh, is that the peanut allergy kid?
Yeah.
Ruins lunch.
Oh, they are all peanut allergy kids
yeah,
at this
right?
point.
It's Park Slope, right?
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to
It's Kensington.
It's Windsor Terrace.
I don't know what any of those words mean. My dumbass drives in from Connecticut. Yeah.
It's Park Slope adjacent-ish, basically. Park Slope enough that we're not allowed to bring peanuts to school, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's everywhere now.
Might be everywhere.
Yeah, even in Connecticut, I can't bring peanuts anywhere near the preschool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sad about peanuts in general. I'm sad that they have mascots that they think it's a good idea to make them die and then bring them back as baby peanuts in a poorly thought out Super Bowl ad. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, which kids don't you like?
Which kids don't I like, or
Yeah.
doesn't Alvin like?
Both. Okay.
Is there crossover? You're both like, oh, James. Ugh.
Well, the second funniest kid in school is in our class.
Really?
Her name is Oop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
The funniest kid in the school is oop, and they're great also.
Right. I don't like oop. No, sorry. No, I do like oop. Yeah. Fine. I probably just didn't say
She probably has the best. They have all the portraits up, and I think oop portrait is my favorite.
It's fucking awesome. She looks like Leatherface. It's We were there.
It's expressive. It makes you feel something.
We were there for Family
Like
Friday.
kid drawing. That one.
Oh, it's a
that's
drawing.
Cool. It's a drawing. Yeah, they like. No, it's not a photograph.
That really clears it up.
The child herself does not look like Leatherface. Her
Yeah.
drawing.
Because I think that was my problem is I was like, well, if she really looks like
of
Leatherface,
herself,
that's
very,
harsh.
very much looks like Leatherface. And my husband and I were there for Family Friday, which is a thing they make you do. And
The children make you do.
the children make you do it. Like the teacher, there's a lot of pressure, man. And then, so my husband and I were like looking at the portraits, and we get to this one, and my husband just looks at me and he goes, Bzzz. And then I had to leave the classroom because I was laughing too hard at a child. So
I just think it's a good portrait. I think I look at it, I'm like, there's something there.
Yeah.
Most of these portraits, there's nothing there. This is nothing. These are empty. These are hollow.
Yeah.
And that one's like something there.
It's pretty iconic. I kind of want to get a T-shirt made of it, but I feel like that's a weird thing to ask a parent. Like,
You could steal it on a Family Friday. Just like have someone sneeze in the corner. And be like,
listen, you're going to help me with that, okay? You're tall.
when does this podcast come out?
I don't know. It's generating a lot of buzz in the village, guys. I don't know.
Yeah. We can put it out whenever we want. So we're going to do this after the crime that we perpetrate involving children's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then you have other kids, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said that like a sad thing that happened to you. You have more kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I am always barely holding it together with just the one.
Yeah.
So like you have two more.
Yeah.
2-year-old twins, you said?
2-year-old twins.
That
And
also
an 8-year-old.
explains why you were able to book him. Just like
Yeah.
anything. Get me out of the house. Let her put these
Can't
kids to
do
bed.
bedtime tonight. Yeah.
So, God bless you. That's a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Do you dream about your kids?
No.
Yeah, I don't
Not
dream
really.
about my kid either.
Yeah.
It's like she barely exists in my mind.
Yeah.
No, I have had a couple nightmares about my child. But I don't know. I don't know if I get all my thinking done about her during the day or if she just never lets me sleep long enough to dream about her. Yeah, I don't know.
Alvin has brutal nightmares.
Really?
I mean, once a month or something. He'd be like, Daddy or Mom.
Right.
And you're like, go down. And you're like, what happened? He's like, I'm not going to talk about it.
Whoa.
I was like, no, just tell me. He's like, I don't want to make it real. I was
Fair.
like,
Legit.
Okay. You go to sleep, and I'll just let that live in me.
So I open this closet that we have.
It's a 70s gym.
Man, that's sad though.
Yeah.
Like, does he sleepwalk or anything, or does he have night? Is that technically a night terror, or is it?
I don't think so. I think it's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
nightmare.
I don't think my child has ever had this happen, but this happens to me on a fairly regular basis where, like, I have a bad dream and I kind of wake up, but then I can't move,
Oh, yeah.
which is a real fucking bummer.
Yeah.
Sleep paralysis
Yeah.
sucks ass. And I feel like it touches base with what Sandi was talking about in her dream about the leaden legs. Is I think that's you trying to move your legs and getting the biofeedback that they're not going anywhere right now because you've got the sleep paralysis drug that your body puts out, so you don't like do laps in your bedroom while you're asleep.
So you don't Mike Birbiglia your way out
right,
of a
so
window.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't pull the Birbiglia, and so you're just like tapping into your actual body in the dream state and being like, this is fucking useless. And it's just a horror show. But the fact that you and we've had other people who wake up in that state.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It really does.
And deeply annoying. You're just like, oh.
Because it's always at like a
This is
crucial
this
moment
is
in
I'm gonna
the dream.
fucking die.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
like I can't even move. This
Yeah.
sucks.
And you know that if you let yourself fall back into sleep, you are going into the nightmare vortex, and you might never wake up. I don't know if you all remember the movie Dreamscape. I can hear by your silence that you do not.
I was born in 1992. I don't know what you're talking
How
about.
dare you?
Get out immediately. That's the second mean thing you've done on stage.
I'm a professional athlete. I was born in the year 2000.
Oh,
I am deleting you from my iTunes.
Yeah. The fact that you even said iTunes, I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's not even Spotify anymore. Is TikTok also a music streaming service? Not quite, but it. Oh,
well, it began as a service called Musical.ly, which
to dust. Yeah, good.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh, how I hate to hear and see things. Why am I always being asked to do both?
These kids have so much confidence.
I know. Oh, they truly do. But in the Dennis Quaid horror movie called Dreamscape, unless I'm misremembering that word, by the way, I just need to preface this with saying, like, I've been extraordinarily dumb lately. I don't know what's happening, if it's hormonal or just me or just my brain is smoothening. But I can't remember things like names I know or words I know or movies I know and watched many times in which Dennis Quaid has a lot of nightmares. And it turns out if you die in a nightmare, you die in life. And there's a snake monster, and it's awesome. So there.
Are you standing right next to the microwave when you're making burritos? Because I feel like I had a lot of success just stepping back 3 feet.
Maybe.
And
yeah,
then I feel like
don't
I got
know.
my short-term memory back.
Our new apartment has a microwave, which is the first time we've had a microwave, too. So we have all these new things in our apartment. We have a microwave. We have a dishwasher. Our floors go all the way to the wall.
What?
Yup.
Luxury.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Our last apartment, that didn't happen. And the mice. Oh, the mice. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just saying we are moving up in the world.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you got that Lux cat.
I got that. Oh man, you guys, as a sidebar, we got a cat. It's the best cat. His name is Gizmo. He weighs 23 pounds.
Yeah. No, tell him he has a sordid work history. What was his old job?
He is a recently decommissioned stud cat.
Whoa.
He used to bang for a living.
He's a purebred ragdoll. His job used to be making new purebred ragdolls, and now his job is to sit around being a fat fuck.
Yeah. And he's great at it. He has his own Instagram, and I am riveted.
He is my goals in everything. I just want to sit around having made my progeny and eat and get tummy rubs.
I just like that your kid is constantly hanging out with a former stud.
Yeah.
Like, that's appropriate.
And I also like that I told her that's what he used to do, and now she tells people.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know if we've done enough to establish that I'm a terrible parent, but we may as well just lay that base right now.
No, I got that from the.
Yeah,
I got
right.
that.
Alvin,
I mean, from our school experience,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. You got the inside
Family
Alvin
Fridays.
tells you what
yeah.
Tug whispers to him in secret.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fine. And the painted ponies go up and down. Tell us about your dream.
So yeah, when I was like, yeah, I'll do this. I'll do Emily's podcast. I was talking to my wife, Jenny, and I was like, oh yeah, I just have to start writing down my dreams so I get like a good nightmare. And she's like, uh-huh. I was like, yeah, I just don't have nightmares ever. And she's like, yeah, or you could talk about the thing that you do where you barrel roll out of bed screaming, what the fuck, and then kind of stand panting, and then I ask you what's happening. I was like, oh, yeah, sure, that's a nightmare. Sure, I'll do that.
Right.
Because I do have dreams I don't really remember. But the ones I do remember are just me dreaming that I'm in bed. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm in the same place. And some of them are like inane, where it's like, oh, I'm in bed and I'm having a conversation with my wife, and she's like, I'm reading this great new book by Bill Cosby. And then I'll like wake up the next day and I'm like, are you reading a book by Bill Cosby? She's like, what are you talking about? No. It's like, okay, it's just, anyway, it must have been a dream. Weird, bad dream. You don't like a Turner and Hooch thing? Like, no? But yeah, the default then is like I'm lying in bed, and sometimes there's like a sound or something. You're just like, oh yeah, maybe it's the heater, it's a little steam or whatever. And then you kind of notice out of the corner of your eye, and then I look, and it's not a spider. I'm not scared of spiders. Like I very much internalized it. Like spiders are your friends. They're eating the things and the other things, and then they're in turn getting eaten by the things, and it's all a beautiful thing. But like I feel like in our culture, this is a spider that is descending. Well, there is an animalistic element, and where it's like it's coming to kill me, but you're kind of like, no, it's kind of a mistake. Like you don't want to eat me, lion. This is all a misunderstanding. But there's definitely something bad.
And spidery?
The essence of a spider. There's a certain je ne sais quoi, like, or like it's not the alien from Aliens because that's like cool and like that's a miracle of movie technology. It's great how they made that thing. But it's like that, it's a very primal, like something bad. Normally from up high. Sometimes it's from the window behind our bed. We have our bed against a window because But normally it's from above, and it's like, oh man, that's bad. And then I'll barrel roll out of bed and be like, fuck. And I didn't used to curse so much. Now I curse a lot because I'm an old man. So it used to be strange that I would like be screaming fuck and barrel rolling out of bed and then be like kind of standing there. I'm not like running away. I'm not like fighting. I'm not like gonna jujitsu it or anything, but I'm,
it's a defensive crouch, kind of.
You don't just want to lay down and let it eat you. Or
and then Jenny is like, what's up? And I'm like, oh, nothing. Nothing's up. I'm just going to bed. That's all.
Definitely not essence of spiders.
Yeah, definitely not that. Nothing to do with that. Nothing's coming to kill us. Nothing's coming to, whether it's a mistake or sent to destroy us. Nothing like that is happening.
Right.
I'm just going to slow my breathing. Like, just going to focus on the breathing and slow it and then lay back down. And you mind if I put on a podcast or anything? And, what's that? It's just kind of like pure bodily terror enough to like launch you physically out of bed. That's all. So it's just that. There's not a big plot.
Right.
It's like it's just that. Like
it's like
you like have a little thing, like you open it. No, it's just like
living.
You're gonna die or something bad.
Right.
And
just,
then like
just like living through the opening of a Stranger Things episode.
Yeah. It's that kind of.
Yeah.
I'm
thing.
Will, and here's the mind flayer. And we're good to go.
It used to happen maybe once a month, and now it's now it's less.
Does it coincide with stressful times or anything like that? Or I say that like I'm a psychiatrist and can help at all. I can't.
We're always trying to crack the code on these
I
bitches,
know.
though. It's like, where's it coming from?
We keep not getting it.
No.
I don't know that I pay enough attention to my interior life to know if it happens during stressful times. Like, oh yeah, I guess that was a stressful time of life when we had the two infants and the
I mean, like, are the spiders really babies? Because yeah. I don't know. I feel like twins descending from my body would be terrifying enough, let alone from the ceiling. I don't know that that's a sentence I needed to say.
I've been trying to get in a mindset where I'm trying to, this might sound terrible, have empathy for men. And
do go on.
Right.
Tell me more.
Right. And I was thinking about what
we've had a hard couple of years, okay?
Right? Because it's hard to walk out and be like, yeah, these guys, right? Right? It's like it's like being a white person twice. So, but that idea of like, if you're like a hetero guy or a bi guy, the idea that you can have sex with someone and accidentally leave a person in them, that's terrifying.
Yeah. It is.
And I can't imagine being a dude and knowing that.
Yeah.
Like, and worrying about that. And like the desperate, like I would have such an urge to be willfully gay to free myself from that. Because two men never worry like, I'm going to leave a kid here when I go.
You can never say with absolute confidence as a dude that you do not have children.
Right, like if you're a lady, you notice, right? Like,
yeah, like you have a pretty good.
You're
name.
gonna pick it up,
yeah.
Right? Even if you didn't know for like, I mean, based on that one show, like 99 out of 100 days, you're gonna pick it up at that last minute when you try to go to the bathroom at prom or whatever. Yeah, Right. Or, years later. Like, you guys can find it accidentally on the internet in, 20 years. That's a fucked up way to be. You're like, oops, 4 more kids. I had a great time in college.
You're my dad's second family. Cool.
Right. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, more twins.
Yeah. It runs in the family. Good to see.
My husband and I passed a kid on the street in Montreal who looked so much like him that we both went like that. And I looked at him and he's like, I don't think so.
I mean, how old is he? No, probably not.
Young man. Yeah, man, I don't know.
Me and a friend of mine who I have in college got mistaken for each other all the time. And she saw a picture of my mom and went, that looks like exactly like my mom. And I'm like, man, I am trying not to hand over my DNA to the government, but I am so fucking curious.
Yeah.
Because maybe great-grandpa was just like hitting it up in Pennsylvania and just made a bunch of this potato face. Just a bunch of good-hearted crony bitches out there.
Let's have some fun family reunions.
Yeah, right. But I think I want to do it cheaply. Can you just send it into the dog DNA people and see if they just call a mulligan?
Legally, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Would you like to see your art now?
Yeah.
All right.
I would.
Are you gonna get him or what?
They're lowering the screen. The
all
lights are
right.
dimmed.
Let's see. So the spider's saying, "Oh no, my 1,000 friends were a dream. I, however, am very real." I don't know what your pajamas look like, but I'm just gonna assume that they're striped. You seem like a guy who would have striped pajamas.
It's almost as if you are hiding in the linen closet in our room and watching us as we sleep.
Absolutely am all the time.
That makes total sense.
Super cute.
Will Butler, thank you so much for doing this. You don't have to ritually burn this. Your dream is not that disturbing. It's very
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
All right.
Thank you.
We will all so soon be going to bed. Our last guest of the evening is the host of Ask Me Another on NPR. She is also my other co-host. We do a show called Shit Show Together that is parenting comedy. Please welcome to the stage Ophira Eisenberg.
Hello.
Hi.
First nightmare I got to bring up. It is indeed Jif. I swear to God, I hated knowing that too, but I had to say it and on the radio, and so of course the NPR machine went in motion to find out the exact, and they called the guy who invented it, and he said,
Jif.
"Fuck you, Jif." Yeah.
I don't know if I can really convey the level of disappointment and betrayal I feel right now.
I get it. I too was like, "You're saying
from
it
now
wrong."
on, we're going to have to say graphics interface.
That's right,
file.
giraffes.
All right. If either of you bitches can program HTML, I will let it go.
I cannot.
I am way nerdier than both of you. I get this one. I did not have sex in high school. I get this.
I guess I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
Well
I'll
done.
take that.
Well done.
That I had that coming. But I appreciate your angle on it. The pronunciation does seem to suggest.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't get to have that kind of peanut butter, so it's my only in.
I didn't either. Too much sugar.
Yeah, too much sugar.
Too much sugar,
Yeah,
yeah.
my mom made me get the kind that you have to stir it for 8 hours before you can make a goddamn sandwich.
We weren't even allowed bread that was made with sugar.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is some health food shit.
Yeah.
No, we were still my parents were teenagers when I was born, so they were still on Wonder Bread. That's what we could afford. Yeah.
No.
Then I got to I turned 20 and I had brown bread. I felt very exotic. Swear to God.
This has a wheat in it.
I had sushi. Could you imagine? It was a real, literally white bread experience on every level.
So listen, you're Canadian, and I need to talk to you about my boots.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's talk about your boots and my Canadianness.
These
sense.
are Canadian Army boots, and I know
oh.
you're all thinking Canada doesn't have an army, but
Right.
they do, and they make boots, and I have a very bad blister now, and I'd like.
Well, that's because no one's ever worn the boots that the Canadian Army makes.
Why are Canadian Army boots so mean?
Yeah, I think it's because you're in the first draft
Right.
of the boots. So we have, the Canadian Army does exist, but we have people are like, what kind of weapons do you have? And I was like, there is a cannon in a museum in Nova Scotia.
We got some hockey sticks.
Exactly.
We plan on bludgeoning
There's
you with.
gourd. Gourd's mean.
We have subtle cutting wit.
Yeah, we have, right, exactly.
Yeah.
The CBC cuts through it all. I'm sorry that our Canadian boots, maybe it's because you're treading on American soil.
I
Maybe
think that
that's
might
why.
be it. Yeah, I think
they're
it's
used
less
to
of a
softer.
blister as like a juxtaposition wound.
No, it's the boots trying to go back home where decency is still a thing.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband is also Canadian, and our daughter is therefore Canadian by transubstantiation. And that's the legal term. So yeah, I don't know. Some Plan Bs are looking good. I've already got the boots.
You're gonna leave me here and go somewhere cool like Vancouver? Or
No,
some
we're
shit?
gonna thruple you in. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good. I'm not living in the closet. Just
The
so
good
you know.
news is that everyone in the Pacific Northwest is like, global warming has made our climate Mediterranean.
Right.
Go to enjoy the tropical Isle of Seattle.
That's right. Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, I have I actually did not know, you helped me out, because I have that thing where I wake up and I can't move.
Yeah.
The sleep paralysis.
Yeah, and I am so in a state of being scared, and I can't move, that I sit there and go try to move a finger, try to move a finger, try to move a finger, and it takes a long, long time. And then you move a finger, and then you're like, oh, I'm in reality. What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Do
You gotta like Uma Thurman and Kill Bill yourself just to get back to
exactly.
move your big toe.
Yeah. But I actually didn't know that was a thing. So
No, it's not
I
like
feel-
when it happens. If you know the chemical processes, at least you can be like, this wears off. Give
Yeah.
myself 9 minutes. My
Yeah.
body needs to flush this out of the system.
Listen, I tried
Kidneys
that
work your
with
magic.
marijuana when I was 15, and it did not work.
No, in the
What's
What?
Wait a second.
if you go back into the dream, if you in the dream you look in a mirror, you wake up.
So there's 1,000 things I can't do in that whole thing. I have to go back in the dream.
Find
How
a
the
mirror.
fuck? Yeah, find a mirror.
I guess
You know that's just going to end up me running down a hall towards a mirror for 40 years.
Listen, just because you have mirrors in your 70s bathroom.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool mirrors everywhere. Great.
Man.
My shit always turns into like an MC Escher, like going up stairways and down into a thing. Like I do a lot of like I'm almost there and then not morphing bullshit. My head's like, haha, Mobius strip, bitch. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that would just end up like I'm gonna try that, and it's gonna
Right.
end up the focal point of
And
the dream
then
is
you
me
owe a lot
not
of
getting a
royalties
mirror.
to MC Escher somehow.
Right, like, yeah, I'm gonna get a call.
Yeah.
But or I'll look in the mirror and it's like Kellyanne Conway. Like it's not gonna go well.
Paralyzed again. There we go. Yeah.
But I was so beautiful before I never knew.
Wait, is this your first show where everybody had kids? Has kids? Currently has
Like the
children?
3 combo? Yeah, I think this is
I
it.
think so.
Wow.
Well, woo! We
Wow.
all got to skip out on bedtime.
Somebody else is doing it right now.
Yeah. Do you dream about your kid, and did you dream about having kids before?
So because I didn't want kids for most of my life, and so I had many dreams of having a child. And in the dream, I was panicking that I had a kid, and then I'd forget the kid, and then I was like, hopefully someone found the kid, and then I'd wake up and go, do I have a kid? Oh my God, please. Thank God that was just a dream. Thank God. What a fucking nightmare that would be if it was real. And then there was a shift where all of a sudden I started dreaming I had a kid, and it was still anxious, but then I'd wake up and go, oh, I don't have a kid.
It's like your body was telling you were ready.
Listen, my dreams, I don't know. Everyone else already on the stage, I'm like, things happen to you. They're fantastic. My dreams are so pragmatic and based in reality. Sometimes I wake up and I was like, did I email that person back? Or was that my dream? Like, they're so basic. I dream so basic. I never fly. I've never flown. I've never had sex with anyone that I'm not like, yeah, we've already had sex. Like, never.
Man,
No.
really?
No.
That actually makes me feel really bad. I feel like everybody should have like some pleasant sex dream at some point and then get very, very angry at their spouse when they are woken out of that sex dream and realize that not only is it not happening, like it's like aggressively not happening right now.
You're right.
That got real specific.
Yeah. Felt like you were just talking hypothetical.
Yeah, a hypothetical thing that has never happened a lot.
Yeah,
No.
so I feel very I've even lied to people about dreams because they'll be like, have you ever had that dream where, someone from your past shows up and you do something really cool with them? And I'm like, oh yeah, totally. And they're like, who? I'm like, my dad. Like, I'll just start making, and then it snowballs.
But for real, you're just like doing your taxes and you wake up and you're like, damn, I still have to fill out that
Yeah,
1099.
right, exactly. I'll be like, thank God I mailed a letter. Ah, fuck, that was a dream.
I feel like, though, that's the profile. You have to have those kind of dreams to have a job on NPR. You're not allowed.
Exactly.
You're not allowed a sexy sex dream.
Yeah. They're like, what are your dreams? You're like, to make $20,000. They're like, we're going to make that a reality.
Right. Are your dreams narrated by Carl Castle? Yes, they are.
Are they poignant and dry? Kind of, yeah.
Is it humor, but not, funny?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you describe them as witty?
Witty.
Yeah.
Are your dreams fact-checked? Is there a fact-checking
Yeah, there is no
happening?
research on my dreams. That's true.
Maybe tonight.
Maybe tonight.
Yeah, get crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, so talk to us about your dream that you did.
Oh,
have.
yeah,
Wait, you're not lying about this dream, are you?
No, it's real. Although, because it's similar to...
Mira's. It's.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I know. You guys showed up in the same dress on the same night, and what are you gonna do?
You guys don't live in the same apartment complex, do you? Because
yeah,
that would fuck
Mira.
me.
No. Ophira, Mira. Weird. Anyways. So I have a lot, but the most fantastical dreams I have are nightmare anxiety dreams of mazes. I am going through mazes. Do people have mazes dreams?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and up and down and round. I mean, you were sort of saying it. Yeah. So I'm trying to get somewhere. Sometimes it is the stage, which is always great. When it's like there's a maze to the stage.
Cool.
What could that mean about real life?
That's a mystery.
Oh well.
So easily interpretable. But I have the dream. I've never had the dream of an extra room until I lived in New York, and I just think everything in my life is so pragmatic. Space here is such an issue, and so all of a sudden I've had the very pragmatic dream of like I find an extra room. But the one I remember most recently is the room I find. Of course, it's massive. It's this massive room. I have a apartment that is technically 2 bedrooms, but it's a rectangle with 2 walls that someone put up made of like rice paper and paper clips. And so but it's another room. Like I find this other room, and it is clear that this other room I've known about because some of my stuff is there, but I forgot about it. And I've been living like a rat in the rest of the apartment.
Like a chump.
Like a chump. And it is huge, and it has a huge dining room, and those chairs, what are they, like Queen Victoria or King Edward chairs? You know, the ones that have like
Fancy
the...
ass back.
Yeah, with the little cool...
Scroll work of like, I don't
Sure,
know.
Sculptural shit.
Yeah.
those like tacks. They have tacks. They
Oh,
use tacks.
yeah.
What are those?
Like a
shit, what
club
do you call
chair?
that?
Yeah, right.
I knew a chair.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
I've only ever shopped at IKEA. So, and a long dining room table, and at the end there's a desk because I think I always dream about having an office, which I've never had. So there's an office, and that's where my stuff is, and it's just all the space. I'm like, oh my god, blah blah blah. And the I guess it's always like in a color scheme that is different from the rest of my dream. Like it's color, but it's like let me think. It would be like the Heffa filter on Instagram. I think would be the right one. It's sort of like slightly washed out. The pinks are brought up. And so then I leave it because I'm like, oh my god, we have an extra room. So this is the part where it's still a dream, but my stuff is there and I forgot it and I'm mad.
Right.
And then when I leave it, I have to go through the maze to get back to it, and I can never figure out the maze to get back to it.
Man.
And then
now all your cool shit's there.
and that's all the cool shit there. And then I'm like, but no, there's another room. And then there's like an angle of like, I'm telling someone who I think is pretending to be my husband. So maybe that is fantasy right there. And he doesn't believe me, and I'm like, I'll show you, but I have to find it, and I can't make it back.
Right.
So then I'm just going around looking for this extra room,
I mean,
and it's just endless. And then I wake up, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Tuesday.
Right.
You know, I hate to hear a dream and say, I have notes.
I love it.
But I feel like the metaphors are a little on the nose.
They are. That's my life.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting because, like, I've also had the extra rooms dream. It's a super common one, and we've had people on the show before that have had this dream. And in every instance, the rooms are bad. They're bad places.
Oh, yeah.
But yours are not yours are okay.
Yeah, mine's okay.
Yeah.
That's exactly. There's the fucking metaphor. The room's okay. I can't get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The room's bad. If it was just full of a bunch of faceless women needing sanitary napkins, I'd be cool.
Yeah. If that lived in your soul.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, well, I'm creative.
Right. But
Yeah,
you have
no.
treasures within that you have constructed obstacles to that you cannot reach.
Your brain is focused on an impossible path.
Right.
And
Sounds
that's,
right.
That's so on theme for being an entertainer. I can't even. That's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. They're boring because all of the real nightmares have actually just continued to happen in my real life.
Right.
So,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Listen,
live,
either
I
way,
get to
you're
see
getting
them
the
all.
work done. You know?
Yeah, exactly. The living nightmare. But I feel like the extra room thing, I'm surprised to hear that people have it in other places where they have
space.
extra
Right.
rooms.
Yeah.
Well, because we all
That
have
just seems fucking indulgent. Like, come on.
does. It's really bringing coals to Newcastle. But
Hey, if you're in North Dakota right now listening to this podcast,
yeah. And
How
you have
dare
acres
you.
and acres. Oh, I dreamt I had another 14 acres in the back lot.
I have a dark mirror barn.
I don't know why my North Dakota person had a
I know.
snappy transatlantic.
They're much more cosmopolitan than we give them credit for. All 6 of the people that live in
We
North
all
Dakota.
have weird, like, brain chambers, you know, like,
Yeah.
if our...
Well, and I think that you made it clear, too, is like most of the time people have this dream, it's a bad room.
Yeah.
So when you got a lot of space, it's the badness of the room that's the problem. Whereas here, it's like, oh, dude, square footage. How many
Yeah.
ghosts?
Right.
Right. Like 3 ghosts? Well, do they mind sleeping on a futon? Because I will get something very nice from Jennifer's convertible.
Kick in, like, anything to the room.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
right. Like, can
Do
you
I
guys
have to
kick in
clean
$200 a month?
Yeah.
I mean, if you cover the Wi-Fi, I think we're
I
good.
gotta go to the store. Can you watch out the kid for a little while? Because I got a show and shit.
Oh, they did make. I was going to say, wait, did they make a movie about a ghost nanny? I was like, oh, it's Ghost Dad. That's Bill Cosby. Now we're right back.
Right.
Oh,
Right back
layers.
where we started.
Layers.
So many
Layers of
layers.
nightmares.
Fatherhood doesn't hold up. You're so right.
Someone did send me that book when, as a joke, when I was pregnant.
Really?
I read it so much as a kid, and like so many of my life things that I check in with are quotes from comedians that I picked up as a kid, and a bunch of them are from people who are like so canceled it's not even funny. And yeah, whenever I'm like, oh, and then I gotta like preface it, be like, I know this is Bill Cosby, but it's kind of a good thought.
Right.
And then who knows what I
No,
fucking say.
that book was my friend when I was a kid.
I still feel bad about giving my kids Zerberts. You know that thing where you blow on
Yeah,
their belly and make a
sure.
fart noise? I'm always like, who was consenting to this? It's a real problem.
Wow, I hadn't really thought of that before, and now that's
Sorry.
there
Yeah,
forever.
ruined.
We're just cutting down. If you got joy, we'll sith it right in the middle of this show. I don't know like how close we are to revealing her art, but I did want to tell you one thing that I just thought is funny and like full circle for me. And like, but 10 years ago was the first time I got on stage in New York City, and you were hosting the Moth.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the first time I was ever on stage, and you were super sweet, and I won that night, which was insanity.
Yeah.
And I put I put the tape of it on YouTube, and then at the end, because I liked you so much, I put a plug for you at the end of the video that was like, you should go follow Ophira Eisenberg. She's amazing. And I put it in Star Trek The Next Generation font, which is how you know I really like it.
Yeah.
But so you can still go back and see like, all those 280 views. I'm sure that's where you picked
Listen,
up all
that's-
those.
that's more than I've
all
ever
those
had.
people. But yeah, I was telling a story about Black History Month and going on a little gung-ho in my recreation of Whoopi Goldberg at school in a manner that is not socially acceptable. Spoiler alert. I found out some important historical details that day. But what was amazing is you coming back on stage at the end, and your face is clearly like, she made a blackface story work. Congratulations, kid. Unbelievable.
And it was 10 years ago this month.
Yeah,
Well done.
which is nuts. So here we are.
This month.
This month.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
month.
so everything else in my life has been a nightmare, but that's fun. That's full
amazing.
circle.
That
But
makes
yeah.
me very happy.
But
Yeah.
what's crazy is you have not aged in any way since then. I watched the video and I'm like, what the fuck Canadian bullshit magic is she pulling?
You do
And
have a tub, which is a thing we don't have in the new apartment. So I assume you just fill it with virgin's blood every night and just submerge.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody
No,
who
it's
loses the moth goes into the back behind the curtain.
It's actually all the winners. I'm surprised you missed out of that one.
I ran out. I couldn't afford to pay my bill.
That's a very nice
for my
thing to
vegan
say.
brownie.
I think it is just the nightmare of life that keeps me. Actually, I remember my mother saying, "Rage doesn't make you, rage doesn't help you lose weight, but it keeps you young." And I was like, "All right."
Fuck you, Mom! Cool. Look, no crow's feet.
I can kind of see that. Although I also feel like it does help you lose weight. I mean, all the tension.
You think?
I'm not seeing those effects.
It's like an exercise.
No.
Although maybe I am seeing those effects, and they would have to take a wall off my apartment every time I want to leave. So maybe I'm looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Like what, a gift horse?
A gift horse. Oh, the
I thought you were going to
old
focus on the
jiffy.
mouth thing because you can jam candy in it. But we could go either way with this jokes. Wacka wacka.
But my 4-year-old son did say to me this morning, he was like, "I had a nightmare last night." I was like, "Oh, that's so funny. I'm doing a show about nightmares." And he was like, "What is that?" I was like, "Okay, forget it. I said that." What was your nightmare about? And he was like, kid thing. He was like, a T-Rex was trying to bite me and eat me. And he was like, and Dad was there, and he was trying to help. But he was still trying to eat me, and I said selfishly, "Where was I?" And he said, "At a show." It's fine. It's fine.
Man.
It's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I was like,
no.
got it.
It's totally fine. It's
Got it.
fine.
Got
He's got an impression of you as a powerful woman.
That's what it is.
Who works and supports her
That's
family.
what it is.
And you know what? He likes dinosaurs. He likes them.
And now he knows if he doesn't want to get eaten by a dinosaur, get a fucking job, kid. That's what you got to do.
Keep up.
Also, I mean, look, that's a very snakeskinny shirt. Maybe you're the dinosaur.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I was wearing this. He was like, "Ah! You are T-Rex."
All right, listen, do you want to see your art?
I sure do.
All right. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Oh, so you're telling me I could have had my own screaming chamber this whole time? Ophira, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. That is our show. There is an absinthe tasting apparently happening in this space in about 7 minutes, but you can go, what? 9:30, sorry, in 37 minutes. So hang out, okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. All
Because
right,
you definitely want to
thanks.
take a mind-altering substance right now.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Woo. You'll sleep well tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Nightmares is held monthly at the Red Room at KGB Bar in New York City. I'm Emily Flake. Tonight's co-host was Kat Burdick. Produced and edited by Shannon Manning for Good Orbit.